fate and not a hell go mash up people start and thief when them sell it gun. On the chili market man, on them a treat the cat man, on the chili peanut man, on them a treat the dirt man, on them a treat the sun man, on them a treat policeman, all them.
Boom! I mean, I say a couple to the flex they represent for Wayne Global TV. So I say, you know the code in the Wayne Global TV is what fully blessed on 90 days. So I say, yeah man, to the fullest. Yeah man, make sure them log in to Wayne Global TV. So I say, check it out. So I say, one cup of flex. So I say, Wayne Global. When you watch you know, film a plan up and a try to put them on it and we head. But man, I live too long, them want Wayne Global fitted. To him juggle so smooth that them want him life for dread. I chew the bank, I like the break, but we ain't all about the bread. We open up in the ears and no listen when we said, cause we lyrics them so smooth like the linen on the bed. Them one with it fall, we living on the edge, I must say true, we make this them. We ain't Global TV, we are 90, and 90. Who Jaja bless, say no man can curse. Give me the Range Rover, who drive the boom! We ain't Global TV to the fullest one cup of excellence, see me?
This is Global TV election results coverage. This is Global TV election results coverage. This is Global TV election results coverage.
Good morning, good morning.
This is Global TV election results.
I'm more confused. It is certainly this morning. I got bed confused and I wake up confused. But if you were on the Prime Minister's Instagram press conference last night, raise your hand. If you were on the Prime Minister Instagram press conference last night, raise your hand. Does the Director of Election has credibility or integrity in this messy results we're having from last night? The confusion the country has been left in from last night. Does the Director of Elections have credibility? Good morning and welcome to Global Television. Thank you all for joining us. Me no know if you're not confused, but me confused to Ruckus. Confused. Cousin J, me so talk to you because me see you know try to take away mountainside division seat. Me no know how this year Ruckus goes, but me soon come around to your cousin. But good morning, everyone. Good morning to those on the live, those in the chat. Please do give us some likes and share this morning because this election needs investigation. I have no doubt that Mark Golden will be marching his way to the parish courts to challenge the number of some of these. I wonder if Mayor Max, Paul Watts' son, I wonder if he was at the electoral office last night assisting in those numbers. It's important to know if the mayor for Port Antonio was at the electoral office last night because it was a confusing issue, scenario, numbers, everything coming out from Gospel Brown last night was confusing. Even after the government, but let me park because it's too much to be said. Good morning. Good morning to everyone on the live. Good morning to everyone in the chat. Good morning and welcome. It is a confusing morning. Very, very confusing. Good morning, veteran. Up, Wagwan. Big up yourself. Big up top boss. Big up. JamaicanTV.com. Stop the steal. Market G is real. Stop the steal. Market G is real. Good morning and welcome, sunshine. Good morning and welcome. Tyreek Antonio, good morning and welcome. Cousin J, wagwan. Me see I ring your bell, cuz. Me see I ring your bell. Wagwan. Soon come round to the Mountainside Division. Abena, good morning and welcome. Debbie Jervis, good morning. How are you? Alison Hamilton, good morning. James, how you doing? Good morning. Angela 48349, good morning and welcome. Sharon Peart, good morning. Good morning and welcome. Darty Brown, good morning and welcome. Natalia Freeman, good morning and welcome. How are you? Carlene Humphreys, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Joan Brown, good morning and welcome. Good morning, Dorothy Brown, good morning and welcome. Lilith Foster, Lorna Emery, good morning and welcome. Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, good morning and welcome. Mumatz Smith, good morning and welcome. Manica Wills, good morning and welcome. Good morning, Alison Hamilton. How are you? Good morning and welcome. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning. Good morning, Agency Driver 5. How are you? Good morning and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, Elijah B. Good morning, good afternoon, Michelle Clark. Good morning, good afternoon, Jermaine Evans. Good morning, good afternoon, Mequitalk, Jeffrey Tavares. Good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, Jamaican Foodie. Elaine Turner. Good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon, and thank you all for joining us. Does the Director of Election has credibility in this messy confusion that they've left us all in? But I found it rather strange last night that the public broadcasting house, the state broadcaster, couldn't have run a 24-hour broadcast informing the public, updating the public of the election result. A state broadcaster in the middle of a confusing vote count, albeit that the confusion came from the director of election last night and the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. A state broadcaster was cut before 10 o'clock. Veronica Gale, good morning. A state broadcaster was cut before 10 o'clock. Chanel Williams, good morning and welcome. Was there anyone over on Instagram last night at the Prime Minister's press conference? Was there anyone at the Prime Minister's press conference at Instagram last night? And if you were there, was there an audio problem? Or was it the audio problem just on my side? Or was it a China dolly with a battery run out? Or was it a robot prime minister? Because the audio for me was just somewhere off the wall. But a state broadcaster went to bed before 10 o'clock, left the whole of it. Full Bashi Tebali, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining. The whole of it, left the whole of it confused last night, Pauline Robinson. Good morning and welcome. Left the whole of it confused last night, Precious Allen. A state broadcaster, while the director of election was given confusing numbers across the country. Jamaican TV, how you do? But there is a number coming out of my division, which I'm going to get to a minute. But listen to the Prime Minister last night. Remember when we were watching Public House last night? One team was at the PNP headquarters. Another team was at the JLP headquarters. The PNP headquarters, Kennisbro, good morning, good afternoon, was jubilant. Paul Les, good morning and welcome. Paul Gone Pan Roos, Charmin Flowers, good morning and welcome. Paul Gone Pan Roos, up at the Jamaica Labour Party headquarters. That's what we saw last night before Public House ended their broadcasting. And then I went over and started watching IRFM's coverage. Then they said the Prime Minister is at the Jamaica Labour Party headquarters. having a press conference on Instagram. At that point, the Prime Minister didn't sound like he was declaring victory. The Prime Minister, rather to me, sound like a dog licking wound in public. That's what it sounds to me. It might sound different to others. Joan Jackson, good morning. Good morning and welcome. But the Director of Elections have questions to answer to the public. To the public, the Jamaican public, the Director of Election has questions to answer. But let us hear the Prime Minister's press conference last night. Then after the Prime Minister's press conference, Megavolt, good morning and welcome. After the Prime Minister's press conference, then we will look at a particular number that I want to question and want to also question the Director of Election. When are we going to have final numbers for this messy debacle that you have presided over?
Fixed and your water supplies connected. And for the months remaining to...
Let me say, I didn't get all of it. When I got over there, it already started. But listen to the audio, and if you were listening to the live press conference last night of the Prime Minister, the audio problem, was there an audio problem then? Because the Prime Minister at some point sounded like a China dolly, or the battery run out of the robot or something. But please do listen. But I think maybe there was some internet or whatever problem they was having. But please do listen to the Prime Minister explaining himself as to why the type of results were coming out.
The constitutional due date, I can assure you that the government will be working very hard. Roads fixed and your water supplies connected. And for the months remaining to the constitutional due date, I can assure you that the government will be working very hard to have those two top items dealt with. You know, if you allow me to just make, when we did our survey of issues of concern, coming out of 2020 and 2016, you will notice that we always have roads and water, but the top concerns would have been crime, unemployment, economic growth, stability of the dollar. None of those have come up. Where we are now, and a clear message from the people of Jamaica, they say you are the political party that has the ability and the competence to generate the resources to treat with these two main problems which we have been suffering for 50 years. Get it done. We hear you. We knew this was the issue, and we're going to work very hard. We have announced a Spark program. We did that last year, and that is budgeted and ready to go. We will have a similar program for water, which we will announce shortly. Since you're on the Spark program, opposition impeachment and lobbying has raised concerns about the terms of reference for consultations in Parliament. Have those issues been addressed? I'm not sure what the concerns were. I was very clear that the consultations would include both MPs and councillors. That there was an attempt again to misdirect and mislead that the allocations are only for MPs. This allocation is being done quite differently from other allocations. There is an allocation to the constituency, which will include a significant consultative process, and therefore MPs and councillors will have to work together with the community of interest to come to the priorities of roads that will be repaired. Bearing in mind, allocations that we are making would not fix every road all at once. It's physically not possible, administratively not possible, and therefore we have to select priorities, get them done within a short period of time, and then go to another site. What our economy has given us is the certainty, if we continue to manage the economy as we have, that you could have constant allocations of this level or greater to address the issues of the roads. And believe me, I will say, I traveled on the roads during the campaign, and it's justified. People are justified in local communities in particular, in being upset about the state of things. And what?
And finally, for me, before I leave with my other colleagues, Prime Minister, the Auditor General has been report talking about Winwood Oil status of municipal corporations in partnership to plant a pump for billions of dollars that were either allocated to them or being spent. What is the plan to improve accountability of municipal corporations?
I might invite the Minister of Finance to speak generally on the Auditor General statement that falls on the Minister of Finance. But the other part of your question, before I invite the Minister of Finance, I have said before on the platforms that the campaign, but I do believe that there needs to be greater attention to accountability of our municipal corporation and how they work. The truth is that local government is an administrative arm of government like any other administrative arm of government. They fall under the PBMA and the other regulations of government, and greater attention and enforcement is needed to ensure accountability in this regard. So I will ask the Minister to just jump in here quickly.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Andrea, just want to say that it is this government.
Hello, team. Before we continue, before I finish this, there's almost 800 of you here. Please give us a like and share, please. That's the only support we're asking over here. Please give us a like and share while you continue to listen to the Prime Minister. It is important to listen to the Prime Minister's response.
That has provided Auditor General with the funds to engage in audits of municipal corporations, which were backed up for several years. So a few years ago, we took a look at it and realized that, wait a minute, the Auditor General is required to produce audited statements of municipal corporations' activities, but that duty was not undertaken for a very, very long time, meaning the last audit was like over a long period of time ago. I can't remember whether it's a decade or 9 years. A long time ago. This administration looked at it and said, this is a problem for public trust, this is a problem for accountability, and we engaged with the Auditor General and provided resources. I believe the resources were about $300 million for a project to be undertaken to look at all of the entities of which municipal corporations are a part, broader than that, where there is a backlog of audits. And it's through that project that we are able to, the Auditor General is able now to make progress on that backlog. Now, what you're going to find as that happens is that issues that have to do with
periods before the current year are going to arise. So when the reports come out, initially the reports won't be for this year or for last year, but it will be started when the backlog would have occurred. You understand what I'm saying? But the way in which
I think it ought to be interpreted is that the government is committed to ensuring that there is accountability across all entities, including municipal corporations, by funding the Auditor General to ensure that what has been the norm in Jamaica for a long time, that we've gone years without audits, that no longer continues. That is a sign of our commitment.
So the idea that local government needs a special reform. Local government needs to be treated like another entity of central government and face all the administrative and regulatory procedures and made to comply with, which is what the Minister of Finance has just said. The fact that you are getting reports that preceded even our term should be carefully interpreted that much of what you're seeing is not as a result of our term of government, but we are the government that would have put in place measures to start the accountability.
And just for the listeners who may be hearing the exchange and not understanding the period of time we're talking about, the report to which you referred, went back to 2006 all the way up to 2013 or thereabouts. So it's not for the current year, it's for a period in the past. But it's this government that has provided the funds for that work to be produced.
I think I should also say that I'm happy for this election because it does give me an opportunity to take a very serious look at how our local governments work, how the municipal corporations work. Because as I go around the country, there is a call for more funding. When we talk to people in local government, it appears to me that the solution is more money. And what I'm picking up from people is that yes, they want to see more resources, but they also want more service. They want more interaction, they want to see their councillors, they want to be able to relay their complaints.
They want more leadership in community issues. And therefore, the role of the council,
which has just been reduced.
Me realize him face a irritate a lot on us, so make me keep him up this up on the TV so him face no bad on no too much.
To a kind of transaction.
But it's important to listen. The Prime Minister has learned lesson from this election and you need to listen to him. So make me take him out on no face and face no bad on no.
National agent that has to be rethought, and the council has to be more of a community leader that brings the community together to find local solutions to the problem.
and not just local service problems, but what do we want our community to be?
There's so many communities that have great potential, great assets. The question is, how do you mobilize the stakeholders to utilize those assets to define the community? So, going forward, having had the campaign and having seen some of the glaring gaps, you can look forward to a more rounded local government structure.
Francis from the Dina, what's the status of the census?
Well, again, that is on the minister, but the census is ongoing. Minister, you could answer.
Thank you, Kim, for that question. The census is in the final stages of being completed, with the data capture process having come to an end and the analytical process being underway. A fuller update will be provided at a time when we can focus on that as a subject material. So we're coming to the end of the analytical phase of the census process.
So is it that data gathering is complete? Because there are concerns, and I have not participated. So I'm wondering where exactly are we now? Is it that data has been collected and they're analyzing?
Yes, the data gathering stage is at completion, and they're in the analytical stage of the census process.
Okay, point over.
Well, I'll just squeeze in one very quickly. Minister Clark, we saw the apology from the central bank this week regarding the overestimation of the impact of the increase in JNTC bus fares on inflation. We heard what you had to say about standing by that decision. The opposition has maintained that it is a bad policy decision. Is it that there's going to be another measure to the defense of inflation? What are you going to be doing about it?
This government has made a habit, a good habit, of providing targeted intervention for members of segments of the population that are in need of such intervention. By targeted, what we mean is that the vast majority of the resources go to the intended group and intended population, and that's a population where the need can be demonstrated. The reduction in bus fares is something that we're very proud of. There are approximately 30 to 40,000 persons on an annual basis who, 30 to 40,000 persons who take the JUTC, and largely these are persons who are not on major incomes, and we're happy that they're able to benefit from a reduction in the fares of the JUTC from $100 to $70, and come April 1st, from $100 in December to $50, half price fare. And we think that for persons on small incomes, for persons on minimum wage, this is a material difference in costs, so much so that the JUTC has seen an upsurge in usage as a result of the lower fees. It would have been happier if the impact on inflation would have been greater, but the impact on human lives is significant. Persons were making, as I said, minimum wage is a major part of their income.
What Minister of Finance, as I reflect on your statement, and I reflect on the opposition spokesman's statement, I recall him being a great proponent of the government taking almost $40 billion of the budget to give grants and to just give away. You recall?
Yes.
You would, simple Google search would see in his budget presentation 2 years ago, where that was his recommendations. Was that bad policy then?
It's a hypocritical stance. Let me call it for what it is.
Yes.
This is a government that is providing support to members of the traveling public who are on smaller incomes. And we're providing that support by reducing what is a major cost for them. $100 a day in two directions, $200 times 5 is $1,000. If you're making $13,000 a week, what we have done is to say, instead of taking $1,000 to pay for your bus fare, you pay $500. Everywhere in the world, that is good policy. So we are supporting vulnerable Jamaicans. The opposition is hypocritical. This is a government that believes in supporting vulnerable members of the population. They're hypocritical in their stance, and all Jamaica can see that.
Finally, now for me, you're removing the hedge tax on
That is a narrative framing that is incorrect. There's no hedge tax on fuel.
the hedge on fuel.
There's no hedge on fuel, Andrea. you bought into a false narrative.
Finally, from the income tax threshold, what is the inflated now on that?
There is a threshold.
There is a threshold. There ain't no hedge tax, but there is a threshold. Yes. So, look, this is the government that has presided over an unprecedented period in Jamaica's history of no new taxes every single year for 6 consecutive years. This is the government that has reduced taxes. One, by increasing the threshold back in 2017, and also by reducing GCG and reducing and abolishing a number of taxes. This is the government that believes in a policy position of ensuring that people are in charge of their own resources and we trust them to spend it wisely. It is this government's position to revise the income tax threshold upwards whenever the opportunity presents itself. Let me say this, you will not have to think, you won't need to wait on any other government for that to happen. This government will address the income tax threshold.
Read that statement very carefully. Right? You don't need to wait on other government for that to be done. This is a Jamaica Labour Party policy. And that's it. And we will do it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Again.
Did that sound to you like a jubilant prime minister? Did that sound to you like a prime minister who think he has done well, and because he has done well, he has won the election? Or does it sound like a prime minister who is licking his wound in public, even after him and the director of election is trying to steal some seats blatantly? Have a look at this graphics for me. On a nose, me dance. It is quite clear, but at the bottom, look at the mountainside division. It is to be said that a lot of numbers are still to be certified. We are to have a proper clarification of the numbers. But should the mountainside division be called on paper here for the people's for the Jamaica Labour Party? Based on the numbers, the People's National Party polls 2,155. The Jamaica Labour Party, 1,446. However, they called that seat. They called that seat for the Jamaica Labour Party. I am very confused. Is there more of this across the country? So, Cousin Jamie, tell Derek Sangster, me say, and the electoral office, them say back off of that seat. Yeah. And let me say, congratulations. Congratulations to Drayton Campbell and Mark Golden. Both of you almost did it single-handedly against many odds. In the party, out the country, and you lot have done well, it must be said. The balance of power has been shifted at local government. And this is a good place for Mark Golden to press on from, to become more robust and ruthless. Those skills, Mark Golden, that you have learned, that you have picked up and have grown into along this election campaign, perfect them, work on them. Work on them, because they realize they are losing the narrative and the center ground in the country. They are losing the popular vote. The director of election last night left me rather confused. Did any of you hear? I did not do a recording of that. I didn't get to, but I'm going to go back to the RFM broadcast and see if I can get that bit out. The director of elections last night. Please like and share the live, please. There's 1,227 of you here. Please give us some like and share. Help to support the broadcast so it can get further out there and our platform can grow. That's all the support we're asking for here. There's a lot of people who have joined us this morning. Welcome to Global Television. Thank you all for joining us. It's very much appreciative to have you all on board. I really appreciate the support. Continue to like and share the program and become a part of the family. My moderators will also be responding to your queries because I don't always focus on the chat. So thank you all very much for those who have joined the Global TV family this morning. I really appreciate having you all here. Everybody is welcome to have their views as long as we are respectful to each other and respectful of others' views. Everyone is welcome to have their view on Global TV. Also, in the top of the chat, the link to the studio is pinned in the top of the chat. If you are confused, as I am, and if you have an issue with the director of elections, the office, which is in the office of the Prime Minister, Mountainside, Lisbon. But it is what they're publishing, because this is why I'm on the director of election this morning, because the director of election have a duty to not confuse us. He has a duty to be giving us the correct numbers and stop declaring all sorts, because that blunder that Cliff Hughes and the others made last night was all of those were coming from the Electoral Commission, whether it be exit polling or whatever. But all of those mistaken narrative or mistaken declaration or whatever, or too quick declaration, all of these confusion last night came from an office that is in the office of the Prime Minister. And all of us must question that. It is to be questioned. Just hit the link in the top of the chat, because it should bring you into the studio. But the director of election, they are responsible for the election, and they shouldn't be given misinformation. This is the number that was published, and they have published a lot of other different numbers for different constituencies and division. How are we to know what is right and what is wrong if the director of elections is not sorting all these queries and confusion that the public is left with? The public is left with confusion. Did you listen to all these state broadcasters last night? These so-called journalists and broadcasters, them have credibility, and for them credibility people go off. Did you hear how confused? If your internet signal is not strong, because it won't take you to the studio, generally you have to have strong internet for it link you to the broadcast. So that might be the actual problem. But everybody was confused last night. I'm not blaming both sides of the fence here. There may be corruption on both sides of the fence. The issue, the confusion last night, for me, the confusion was coming from the director of election. Kenny, you could well say that, because broadcasting house, PBCJ, public broadcasting house last night, they are our public broadcaster. They are the state broadcaster. Can you imagine on an election result night, a state broadcaster cut a headline in any country, election result, is headline. In any country, unless there's something like a terrorist attack or whatever is going on, election result is headline. And in our country last night, state broadcaster went to bed before 10 o'clock. And then the Prime Minister took to Instagram to have press conference. What happened to the state broadcaster, Prime Minister? What happened to the state broadcaster? Why the Prime Minister went to Instagram to have a press conference last night? It just all doesn't make sense. It just all doesn't make sense what we saw happen in our electoral process last night. Now, how do we deal with this issue? When you have the court, the electoral commission is now locked together in bed with the office of the political ombudsman, and both are in the Prime Minister's office. How do we expect to untangle this mess, this confusion that the electoral office have left us in, with all of this accountable office in the office of the Prime Minister? It is a blunder. And the electoral college here, let me use the word electoral college, easier for me. The electoral college have questions to answer. The electoral college have questions to answer to the people. What we saw happen last night wasn't the norm. That confusion we saw last night wasn't the norm. The director of election shouldn't be giving such confusing and conflicting information. If observers are publishing these numbers, it's what they're getting from the electoral commission. These numbers that they're publishing is what they're getting from the electoral commission. Can we trust them is the issue. Can we trust these numbers are the issue? Are there any ballot tampering? Is there corruption in this election? These questions ought to be asked. Because what we saw last night wasn't normal. What we saw last night wasn't normal. Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica failed the people last night. It is the people's broadcasters. It is the state broadcast. Your tax dollars fund public house. Your tax dollars, people, fund public house. Who went to bed last night before 10 o'clock when election was the headline in our country, when they were the major state broadcaster. And they went to their bed. They went to their bed and leave us all confused. Never mind that from the exit poll, the public has become confused. It is the reason why people like Cliff and all those others could have come out with such a declaration even before the official numbers. We still, as a nation this morning, has not had an official, really official number from the director of election. The director of election has questions to answer. Public house, which you, the taxpayers' money fund, have questions to answer as to why public house doesn't think a part of the democratic exercise is for them to give you information and not just come and show you sound bites, then go off to bed and leave all of us confused. They are the information handle of the of a part of this democratic process. So how come them mainstream media last night don't see the necessity of the headline? This was a headline last night. It was a headline, and Public House went to bed. Public House went to bed before 10 o'clock. Before 10 o'clock Jamaica time, your public broadcaster went to bed. The Mountainside division is confusing me, like literally confusing me. Because why did you publish something like this? Cousin Jay, the media was working on the exit poll, and that would generally come from the Electoral Commission or somebody aligned to them. They are the ones that cause the confusion, not the media. To know the Electoral College is the one that is causing the contention. Did you listen to Gospel Brown last night on IRA FM? The man confuses me. I don't see why he came on for that interview, because it didn't clear up anything. It rather left myself, the broadcaster, and the broadcasters and others confused, literally confused. Literally confused. What happened last night was a dent in our democratic process, because we have the election. We have the election, and we're left confused as to the numbers right across the country. Because if they're publishing a number like the Mountainside division so horribly wrong, how can we trust the director of election on the numbers across the country? That is very important. This should have never put out in public. Who verifies that? This is important that we question these issues. As well as Warrior is saying, was a confusion by design. This should have never put out in public. It came to the broadcasters. They should have never put it out in public without questioning the Electoral College. Why is this so? How come the Electoral College put this debacle out? It doesn't make sense, and question is to be asked. Question is to be asked across the country. But then we saw before the election, the Prime Minister hastily in the dead of night, the Prime Minister went into Parliament, ram-raided the legislation through Parliament within a matter of hours, in order to take the office of political accountability into his office by wrapping it together with the Electoral College, which is already in the Prime Minister's office. When I say Electoral College, you all know I'm talking about the Electoral Commission of Jamaica. The Prime Minister, which have that office, the Prime Minister, which have that department into his office, crack of dawn, the Prime Minister went. Parking, nobody knows who won at the moment. This is why I'm saying the Director of Election is under a duty to give us clarity. Last night was a debacle of confusion. highs and lows across the political field last night, because 1 minute the People's National Party headquarters is jubilant. When the media hosts point them camera over Jamaica Labour Party headquarters, full gone pan roofs, dog lay down round a back. Them say more car in a car park than people out there. Then media hosts before 10 o'clock cut the broadcast, whether it was arranged like that or for whatever, me don't know, but it wasn't expected. And then the Prime Minister later on had a press conference on Instagram. More sound like a dog licking wound rather than a Prime Minister being jubilant. So 1 minute you hear say a PMP win, you hear say this control how much a municipality, and I am confused. You all know that I am number dunce. So once it's number, I'm going to be automatically confused. But what's on paper here? Ask so much of my family at Jamaica, me call this morning and ask them, what does this mean? Okay, everybody know me dunce when it comes to number like this. Because quite a few of my family at Jamaica this morning asking them, what this mean? Can I know say me dunce? This number shouldn't have been put out in public. It shouldn't have. And by that, then, we cannot trust the director of elections. Mr. Gaspel Brown, did you listen to the gentleman on IRFM last night? I was confused. I went to bed confused. And then me get up, Mr. They sent me check the St. Elizabeth, the cousin Senny can't give me. Then me start call other cousins, because to me it looked like we cousin win the seat. But them say after me confused, the number confused me. Even though we can't see clear Balaclava, where Balaclava then? That me telling us that the director of election have questions to answer. This is one of understand. This man have questions for answer. We cannot trust the numbering or the result he's giving us across the country. Is there corruption going on with the director of election? With even public house broadcasters was saying this last night. We've never had this before. By 9 o'clock, we used to have more actual numbers coming through. But by then it was a plethora of confusion, and the confusion continues across the country, because when you look at things like this that have been put out in public, they are very questionable. This is playing with our democracy. It is playing with our democracy, and we mustn't turn a blind eye to such blatant thuggery in public, because this is thuggery. They are under a duty to give us correct information. If the director of election cannot call anything, then don't call nothing till you understand. How can you make such a mess where the seat them don't tie? So what are we to expect in a the tie seat them? What are we to expect in a the seat them with tie? If the seat them with don't tie, there's such wide discrepancies. It is questionable. We ought to question the director of elections. We ought to question if the director of election has motive here. We ought to question if the director of election is aligning themselves to a particular political party. All of these are questionable. And we must not let the director of election get away with this. Listen to Mark Golden. This is why this is serious when it comes to balance of power. Because now that the Electoral College and the office of the political ombudsman is wrapped and lapped together. It is difficult for us in this messy election to get accountability from those two offices, which you don't know the different of who, and both are in the office of the Prime Minister. Listen to Mark Golden, and we'll be back after that.
Mr. Speaker, I hear the words of the Minister of Justice seeking support for this bill. And the truth is that this idea of reposing the responsibilities that were vested in the office of the political ombudsman under the Principal Act, reposing them in the Electoral Commission in some way, has been promoted for some time. And indeed, I believe members on this side had at times indicated that that was a good idea. But with the passage of time, I must say that, speaking for myself, I have grave misgivings about it. First of all, I'm going to speak about the process by which this bill is coming here. We have not been sent a copy of this bill. We're seeing it for the first time when it's tabled this afternoon. I don't know whether there are errors in it. It's repealing and amending numerous provisions in the Principal Act. We have seen where bills that have been pushed through here before have errors in them and are going to have to be fixed by subsequent legislation. We're seeing it with the firearms legislation, and indeed we're seeing it with the other amending bill that was tabled by the Minister with responsibility for transport today, the Road Traffic Reprieve and Nullification of Prescribed Notices Amendment Act 2024, which is seeking to correct things in the Principal Acts passed a year ago. The Road Traffic Reprieve and Nullification Prescribed Notices Act 2023. So, something like this should not be tabled and passed on the same day.
The importance of what Mark Golden is saying is what we're seeing in our elections at the moment, where we're not going to have trust in this particular process now that the confusion has started. Why? Because during the 2020 election, Michelle Charles, the daughter of Colonel Charles, sought to use corrupt practices during that election campaign. And there was an investigation by Dana Parchment Brown office, which is the office of the political ombudsman, which imposed discipline on Michelle Charles in March of 2022, I think. Her tenure ended in November 2022 and would have been reappointed after the 16th of November 2022. Because of that, the Prime Minister refused to reappoint Dana Parchment Brown, disrupt the office, because under the legislation which the office operates, if the person in the office isn't corrupt, then politicians will be held to account, and public officials on offices will be held to account. The Prime Minister refused to reappoint the office under the current legislation. Ask the Prime Minister why. Just before election, the Prime Minister went to Parliament with an 8-hour bill turned into law because of the legislative imbalance in our legislature, which is a danger to democracy. And that is a problem in this very election, because we cannot have or should not have a confidence in a body that is held in the hand of a corrupt Prime Minister. It is to be said, we cannot have confidence in the Electoral College and the Public Ombudsman when both offices are in the office of the Prime Minister. The country should be asking the Director of Elections a lot of questions. The People's National Party should be gearing themselves up to go to the parish court and challenge every confusion coming out from the director of election. For me, he should resign because the director of election, Glasspool Brown, has lost credibility based on what we saw unfolding from last night. After local government election, after 8 years, where the prime minister has to be forced into a corner to allow the people to exercise their democratic rights. It happened, but the nation is rather left confused. Or it just could be me because me dunce. The confusion could be coming from my dunceness. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who is confused. But let me big up some people here because there's a lot of people who have arrived this morning. Noel Williams, good morning and welcome. Millie McBean, good morning. Margaret Light, good. Hold on. Joan Brown, morning. Tragic Grant, good morning. Mega Walt, good morning. Glennox Smith, good morning. Wellness Warrior, good morning. Brittany Lyon, morning. Home Away Furniture Home, good morning. VM, good morning. Joan Jackson, good morning. Mega Volt, good morning. Udell, good morning. Jamaican TV, good morning, good afternoon. Millie McBean, good morning. Simone Beckford, good morning. VM, James Brown, Victor Williams, Anthony R. How are you? Have you arrived late? Amy, good morning. Arlene Foster, good morning. Michelle Clark, Joan Jackson, Victor Williams, John, P. Richards, Kenny Ailey Lindo, E. Marie. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Rohan Williams, good morning, good afternoon. Annie Jones, good morning, good afternoon. Sharon Peart, good morning, good afternoon. Good morning, good afternoon. Don Miller, good morning, good afternoon. Kirk Edwards, good morning, good afternoon. Lilith Foster, good morning, good afternoon. Winston Dawkins, Pete Gist, good morning. Good morning, Brittany Lyon, good morning. Marvery Light, good morning. Michelle Lewis, Wilson's God Gifts, good morning. Pamela McNeil, good morning. Kenneth Bro, how are you? Good morning. Pauline Robinson, good morning. JB, good morning. Tariq Antonio, good morning. Good afternoon. Lady J Love, good morning. Good afternoon. How are you? Welcome all of you who have joined. Noreen Dennison, good morning. How are you doing? To all of you, Sonia Barracks, good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining. To all of you who have joined the Global TV family, Devin Heath, good morning and welcome. Princess Diamond, good morning, good afternoon and welcome. Anja Mac, how you do, Wagwan. To those of you who have joined the Global TV family this morning, Rosie D, morning, good afternoon, how you doing? Parkin, how you do, long time. To those of you who have joined the Global TV family, welcome. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate everyone over here. We appreciate everyone's support. Give us some like and some shares, please. George Eagle Eye, good morning and welcome. Brenda, good morning. Thank you all for joining us. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you all for joining the Global TV family. We appreciate having you all here. Good morning and welcome. Elaine Turner, how you doing? D.I. Easy Underworld Jerk. Wagwan, bro. How are you? JB, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon. Joan Jackson, thank you all for joining the Global TV family. Carlene Jones, good morning. Kirk Edwards, Sharon Powell, how are you? Good morning and welcome. Patel Scarlett, good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. It is ever so great to have you here. Jamaica Carlos is one of our brothers as well, a champion on the social justice journey. If you are not aware of Jamaican Carlos, he's very easy to find on social media. Just type Jamaican Carlos. He's the only one out there named Jamaican Carlos. So he's very easy to find. Just type in Jamaican Carlos. I'm sure he has an awful lot of view and this debacle unfolding from the Electoral College. Les, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Global Television. Thank you all for joining us. Joan Jackson, good morning, good afternoon. I don't want to leave out anyone, you see. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for joining the Global TV family. It's great to have your company on board. Colette Young, good morning and welcome. Good morning, good morning. Thank you all for joining us. And to the new Global TV family who have just joined the Global TV family, we run 3 different programs here on Global Television per day. We have in the 12 o'clock UK time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern time, we have a program called At a Glance that goes out at 12 UK time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Then at 6 p.m. UK time, we have our Drive Time London program, which is 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then our final broadcast for the evening is The People's Point of View. That goes out 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're watching and you have not yet subscribed to Global Television, please do so. So whenever we put our live link out, you would be one of the first to know. I really hope I don't miss anyone in the chat. Carol Sexy Sade, how are you? If I miss anyone, it's not intentional. Carmen Forrest, good morning and welcome. How are you? It's not intentional. There's quite a few people who have come on. Black Rose, good morning. How are you? Good morning. Welcome. Black Rose, the result, it is still confusing. We're waiting for official confirmation because the result that are out is messy. And if anyone knows me, they know number is not my strength. And that Petra, good morning and welcome. That is rather confusing for me as well. So we're waiting from some official numbering from the director of election who is under a duty. Rohan Lindo, good morning and welcome, cousin. Mr. Lindo is my ride or die cousin in the UK here. Mr. Lindo is my ride or die cousin. Welcome to the Global TV family, Mr. Lindo. I know you're always watching, but welcome. Welcome to our Jamaican Carlos this morning. I'm sure Carlos is rather confused as I am this morning. Give us your opinion, Carlos, and what is happening in our election this morning, and what is your opinion on the director of elections?
Well, I'm with you, Wayne. Good morning, Wayne, and good morning, listeners and viewers. I think we should have heard the result last night. It was too early when they pack it up. I was surprised.
Very.
It was too early when they pack it up. You know, you're talking about an election like that. Almost 8 years, we didn't have a local government election. So I would think that these guys have 8 years almost to prepare without any glitch. You understand me? Why so many glitches? And I just got off Cliff Hughes a while ago, and I heard him apologizing for the blunder. He did not blame it on the EOJ. He blamed it on him. So he's the one who blundered. But he's not the only one who blundered. So, yeah, I think he
where
wanted
would
to.
they have got that blundered figure from, though, Carlos?
That's correct. It's just like how Bank of Jamaica came out and take the hit for the bus fare reduction for the park. You understand me? They always have somebody to come out to clean up aisle 6 to take the hit for them. That's how I feel. I feel like, and where is this, the recount and all this stuff and what is going on here? The office is in where? The Prime Minister's office. And after they become...
The nation shouldn't be left in such a confusion, though.
No, never. It should be more clear last night. When it was too early for them to pack up, Wayne.
Before 10 o'clock in Carlos?
Yeah, it was too early. Something not right. And then the Prime Minister come out and then say him win.
Took to Instagram.
So hold on now. So even if them get a different result, even if them recheck it this man, recount, and find out that the PNP get more seats, are they gonna go against the Prime Minister who already come out and say win last night? And the office? Me don't understand win.
This is why the Electoral College is under a duty to come to the public and give clarity and cut the confusion in the public, Carlos.
I'm just looking at the Prime Minister trying to set a thing from last night, because just imagine if the recount finally the PNP gain more seats and stuff like that, and when Andrew already come out and said we win last night, are they gonna go against him? Why did he do that last night?
Well, they have to go where the numbers go, Carlos. It's the numbers works in a democracy. It's what we expect, is it not?
Well, when I don't trust, when you hear me talk all the time, I don't trust a number or a letter coming from this administration. When I don't trust a number or a letter coming from them, when nothing.
I don't trust what happened last night. It just doesn't wash. It just doesn't wash. Something went wrong last night. Public broadcaster, the state broadcaster, went to bed in the middle of the confusion.
I got no notice. We were up.
Was it because of embarrassment? Was it because of public embarrassment? Why they've cut the broadcast so early?
Well, I think so.
They realized they've made a blunder.
Well, so this party, this administration deal with nothing but PR stunt. PR stunting. It has to look good. All when it's empty. It must look good. Can't make it, the boss look bad. Yeah? So while I was at work last night, Wayne, right? I worked last night, When I think you was up and you said I must come on. I came home shortly to do something at home real quick while I was at work, right? Then I say, you know what? I was watching the results and stuff, but I say, you know what? All these years on social media, me talking up the mouth and trying to, change, and after 8 years, almost 8 years of no election, when me there at work, I do. So say me I go home because this is very important to me. So when we come home, I sit down, wait for the result, and I see where end up. Inconclusive.
Carlos, I went to bed and I said, I have got bed early to wake up, coming now, come on, usually at 11 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock Jamaica time. Come, I want the counting to get on the way before me start broadcast. By the time me come here say PMP win, and by the time I get into the program, me realize there's a huge confusion and blunder going on, because the the Jamaica Labour Party accepted the blunder last night as well, because when Public House broadcaster journalist was on both headquarters, the People's National Party headquarters was jubilant, and the Jamaica Labour Party headquarters
dead.
Full gone pan roofs up there already. Something went wrong in the middle of all that, Carlos.
And then while you were on last night, the jump up on your show, because I was everywhere, Wayne. I couldn't really come on your show. I was everywhere, trying to get the news from everywhere. So when
me a broadcast, Carlos, me sit down on my phone, everywhere I look.
So I went over, one of us said, well, Labour Party headquarters dead. So when the news changed now, the confusion started, then somebody went up by who was up, because the news was up by the headquarters, said the Labour them start to come back. And then saw the Prime Minister came to the headquarters and he was whisked. He didn't talk to the media. He went inside the building.
Yeah.
You understand me? And I guess that when he was cooking up the response about and Instagram, why did he go on Instagram and not on a TV station or something like that? Why?
That's what I'm saying. After the state broadcast, so all of them other journalists where they did their question him, Carlos. It don't make sense. How come state broadcaster never did it?
What did make sense again is the body language and how him deliver it. Win. Me no win nothing and announce it that way there. No sir. Win. We not gonna win nothing and just announce it like a egg drop on the wrong match. Puff.
That sound like a dog licking wool in a public.
Wait, me now win nothing, especially something like this.
You ever watch Geographic Channel and you see when the lion attack the wildebeest and the wildebeest turn around and pick him up and wheel him around on his hand and throw him a dot?
Yes.
So the Prime Minister sound last night when him come out on him Instagram press conference.
That was something right, man. Even the man, I don't think he even said thank you. I don't think he even said thank you to the people. I'm never gonna listen to it again.
Did you not hear the lessons? Did you not hear the lessons that the Prime Minister learned last? He learned all sorts. The Prime Minister, when the Prime Minister was going around the country telling the lies, the Prime Minister was learning at the same time. You see
If you get a youth is a star, I learn that too. But you know what? I think the Prime Minister put himself in a bigger dude in a win. Because remember, he promised in a win. Win. You people like you and me, I gotta keep reminding the people them about him promises win.
He has from now until September next year to deliver Carlos Gray on all these promises.
Every single one.
Given the fact Carlos Gray, given that he has failed 8 years on his 100-day promise. 8 years on from his 100-day promise, he has failed. Sleep with the window open. He has yet to surface the nation with a crime policy, while Dr. Chang is loading AK-47 into the country by containers and barrels of it. How is the Prime Minister, Carlos, is going to fulfill on so much promises by September next year, when for 8 years, the Prime Minister told us in St. Thomas, Carlos.
He's saying put himself in more trouble, bro. He put himself in more trouble. He put himself in more trouble with the plan. There's no way he can deliver all these plans. Brother, the man planning. You better hear the man. Promise, the man promise.
Promise, because we never actually had it on paper, you see. So it was a word of mouth promise.
Yeah, it's a promise, not a plan. It's a promise.
The Prime Minister grew in the country like woodpecker, Carlos, and he knock him beak on every dry tree. The Prime Minister grew in the country like a rolling camp, ringing bells at night. And then come in front of where tell lie, say him learn lessons going around the country. How are you going to implement them in less than 2 years, Prime Minister, when you couldn't have done it in 8 years? Make it make sense.
Well, as you can see, we went around the country and told the people them that the last 8 years he was busy balancing the economy, and now he is ready to share the dividends. So may I say now, while he was balancing the economy and forget the poor people, he was making new money, billions of dollars. Up till now, we don't know the right amount of billions that it costs us to make this useless plastic money. Bustamante statue, millions of dollars. Devon House, millions of dollars. Nigel sign, millions of dollars. Mobile sign, millions of dollars. DPP office refurbishing, millions of dollars. And now they talk about Parliament building, billions of dollars. But hold on, remember, busy balancing the economy.
Cornwall just a jinky like a Kirsty also.
Oh, now it gone up to $21 billion Cornwall Regional Hospital. Another $1.7 trillion missing from the Prime Minister Office, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education. And but it was busy balancing the budget, right? A 300% raise. Busy balancing the budget. Teacher never get none, police never get none, RGD worker never get none, immigration worker never get none, garbage waste management pick up people never get none, police never get none. Brother. And it's people of that.
Our nation under this government is an unfolding scandal.
You know, it does look like a scammer government. Now, so look, it looks like a chopper government, brother.
But I want to ask the Jamaica Labour Party, MPs across the country, something, Carlos. Know that if we're going on what they're saying about the popular vote, but then you cannot trust the director of election. But
no.
with the energized mood of the People's National Party, is the MPs across the country on the Jamaica Labour Party front willing to risk their seat at the general election next year with an Andrew Holness, who will be, no doubt, be slaughtered at the polls at the national level? Are you willing to risk your seat for the sake of Andrew Holness, who have swindled billions of our public purse? Are you put your seat on the line for that?
All of them seats should be on the line because they are aiders and abettors. None of them will come forward to all of this and stop the man and just take a different turn. None of them. They are all the same. So the whole of them need to clean up to clear up. Come to think about it.
Bars will be ready to pull the knife.
Oh, well, you know what? I have some voice note that somebody sent me. Somebody tell me that, I don't know, not true to this. It's an allegation that the PNP last big in Trelawney because Darrell Vaz, that's what they said, walking around making cutthroat signs. I have the voice notes from this lady attack. So you walk on a show.
I have one of the cutthroat video where I'm doing cutthroat signs somewhere across the country. I have one of that which I played on my platform. Let me play it for you because Darrell Vaz went in Parliament, Carlos. After that came out and tell us, oh, be careful of AI. You know they always use AI to tell lies. Just like what the Prime Minister said, the voice note from the police, a fake voice note. But you want to talk till I find the useless Darrell.
Yeah. So whether it caused the PNP to lose Portland or not, that was a concern of one of the Portlanders. The man I walk out and hit scare the people and then well, I don't know. I don't know if the people are afraid of that man there. I never know say I'm a bad man. I never know. I never know say my people afraid of him. I never know that. I never know that I go on in my country. That is ridiculous.
From my investigation, Darrell Vaz and Anvaz use violence and money against the people of Portland. There are things that I could say, but I would have to clear it before I say it. But they are using violence and they are using threats against people of Portland.
Well,
violence and threat against other political operative on the People's National Party front. Yes, they are doing it. They are even using threats against their own Jamaica Labour Party councils candidate. They are doing it.
Let me tell you now.
In line with them to arrange kickback money, you can't get seats.
Let me tell you now, right now, for the sake of the country, moving forward, right now, Andrew got to go. There's somebody there right now. Andrew got to go. And right, the momentum is built. There's a momentum built. Whether them say the PNP lose or not, there's no loss for the PNP. No, it's a win. Look at it.
I think that even if they lost, they've shifted the balance of power.
Yes. There's no lose. There's no loss here for the PNP. Trust me. And
that's why I am congratulating Drayton Campbell and Mark Golden because they almost did it single-handedly.
Yes, because when it started out, when you even go up on my page and I said, where the rest of PNP them there? We can't see them. It seems as if that time everybody are fighting power, so they just make Drayton Campbell and Mark Golden go out there to feel. I believe that's what the rest of PNP were waiting on. for them to go there to feel. But
Precisely.
David Campbell and Mark Golden, them really non-stop. And you know me for my page, I'm stop juke Mark Golden with the iron fork, you know, because you can't be too comfortable around here, you know, Mark Golden. You're not dance good for me.
Let me say this while we are on air. I have reached to my 10,000 subscribership. Thank you all very much for your support. I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you all very much for keep on coming to my platform. Continue to like and share and engage in our program. This is not a pro-People's National Party program. It is not a pro-Jamaica Labour Party program. It is a pro-Jamaica program. But over here, we are saying our country is not going in the right direction. And we will do everything to inform and educate the people. Thank you very much, Cuz and everyone. To inform and educate the people. So when the people goes to the poll, they can make the right choice. Vote for your country, the development of your country, the future of your children, and rather not on a party tribal line, which is often the way our country vote. Continue, Carlos.
Well, congratulations, my brother. I already tell you, so the sky is the limit for you. The sky is the limit, and more people are gonna come as soon as they realize what you're doing over here. And I know baga and pasa, and them can be educated a lot when you subscribe to this channel. People don't realize that, man. They come in, man. There are people out there.
Appreciate everyone's support.
Yeah, I mean, them are coming, man. With the support of the people, them. I believe right now the PNP are motivated. Yes, they are motivated.
And this is something good enough for them to work with, to continue going around the country and let the people know that there is a different option. There is another way.
Yep. And with their
government has gotten to the point, Carlos, not cut you, but this government has gotten to the point where it's admitting that I have not done well for you.
Yes. Yes, it did. Yes, it did, Wayne. So I'm saying ready now to share the dividend.
When we had less than 2 years general election, a year and about 6 or so.
After I take 300% raise.
After so much public funds cannot be accounted for in his office, and the Minister of Finance, which is accountable to him, cannot account for a budget of 1.6 trillion from 3 government departments. 124 million across local government municipalities. And we're not done here yet.
No, but hold on. And Miss McLean alone, Nutri Products, and the fair management at 124 mixing and she alone.
48 million, Grace McLean, was it not?
Or 124. 124. Yes, and she. 124 share and the fair management alone.
How much on the Warrell and Six Spinner and T. Kim? Does anyone know if T.
Let's say over 500. Let's say over 500. Let's say over $500 million or something like that. Some five number.
Does anyone know if Tiffin Kim win our seat? The sticky finger MP from St. Anne's, where in the money the CMU's treasury as well. I wonder if that and I wonder if the gunman Carlos. I wonder if the gunman win him seat. Because you never can tell them up at the electoral college applying gun from people.
Hey, Wayne, you know, say the PNP shouldn't have nowhere upsetting the Labour right this morning when the amount of money on me here so the Labour right spend. Wayne, me here so the Labour right spend billions with a big Wayne, me say dash the money like a water Jamaica.
Them run it to St. Elizabeth and them run it to Portland. I mean, they must run it across the whole country, because when they go across the country and see the mood, no doubt they've run it in Western Jamaica, because them sister the people them fed up.
When we get a call from nigger last night.
Hold on, Carlos. I am understanding yesterday as well. Somewhere in Western Kingston, police catch a whole heap of gunman in a JLP clothes with gun, but may I go see if me can probe more upon that. There's a whole banger.
A man called me right after election yesterday, a nigger, and said, boy, they name out Andrew Ones. He said, money did I run, someone was waiting green shot. It's enough money I run, brother. A man just waiting green shot and collect money. 1,000.
Flight Green, him go to some youth in a particular division and go ask them what they want for drink. The youth, them tell him, say, them buy them make up and buy them make up money together with daytime and buy them drink, a job they want. Them go in a shop, go tell the bartender, say, go, they go ask him what they want. The youth, them send go tell him, so they don't want nothing from him, they want jobs.
Well, in the middle of the election yesterday, a bunch of youth switching up. In the middle of the election yesterday, a bunch of youth switch. Because they say the liberate the after ball field and the count that disrespect them. In the middle of the election, they switch. They have to give them orange shirt and something. They switch from liberate to PNP.
Carlos, this election cycle has been a disgrace. After waiting for it to happen for so long, Carlos, it happened and it becomes a blunder and a disgrace.
A true man. And they have enough time to prepare it, brother. It's almost 8 years, you know. No local government, you know. So that's sure say, when the man come in, look like no local government.
Well,
look at that. It's supposed to keep every 4 years. Something's supposed to keep every 4 years. Almost 8 years. This man push it off to. Your constitutional rights. You man just step on it and rub it out. No respect. Well, bless up yourself. Bless up the audience. Nice having me, my brother. We talk later. Continue with the good job that you are doing. Yeah, man. People go ahead and like the page, you know. No collection pan, no put them over here. So no GoFundMe, no hat, no collection, no plate, no pass round. All they have to do, people, is go ahead and just like or support. Like the page. Loving the people. Man has enough respect. I'm out.
Respect, bro. Yes, there you have it. Jamaica Carlos have his view as well. And as I said, if you're not yet subscribed to Jamaican Carlos TV, do subscribe to Jamaican Carlos, because Jamaican Carlos comes on as soon as anything happens. Jamaican Carlos is on. So please do. And once again, thanks to everyone for getting my subscribership to 10,000. Thank you all very much. I really support it. The 6 o'clock broadcast is not going to come on because I have a few things to do. But please join us back here at 11 p.m. UK time, 6 p.m. Eastern time, when we will continue to question the credibility and the integrity of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, and whether we can trust them, or will we have to rely on the court to give us clarity in this election. Thank you very much for being here with us on Global TV this morning. We really appreciate your support, and thank you all for getting us to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you and good afternoon.